after she was gone. It has been incredibly difficult to have the person who was there for me suddenly gone. I truly loved her dearly, but it isn't possible for anyone to love Janine more than she. She was incredibly unique and special. She used to write me things on post-it notes all the time and stick to places. Anywhere near food was a good spot. One of the best was, you know that place between sleep and wake? The place where you can still remember dreaming? That is where I'll always love you. That is where I will be waiting, and that's exactly where she is too. So I'd just like to say in parting, I can search the whole world over until my life is through, but I know I'll never find her. Thank you.
She's always been with me. She supported me in every crazy idea in school in June. And we would be in the ice rink for 5 hours a day, every single day for like 5 years, something like that. And she never complained. She loved being a rink mom. She loved watching me skate. When I was almost 40, the idea that I wanted to try out roller derby. And she's like, okay, are you having midnight life crisis? No, it just sounds like fun. She went to every single game. She and my dad were there at every single game, cheering me on, worrying about me when I'd get injured. And just everything. She's an angel. I call her for everything. If I had a problem, she would come fix it. My mom, well, okay. Looking back, okay, she refused to be called Mrs. Nelson. She hated that idea. She's like, that sounds matronly. So every one of my friends called her mom. So she had like, I don't know, probably 72 kids. And she was always, and she was mom to everybody. If they had a problem, we could go to her and fix it. And anyway, like I said, I'm awful at this stuff. You can ask my husband. I don't express myself well, but anyway. I love you, Mom.
Well, I want to repeat what Greg said. I'm Janine's brother, and and I appreciate everyone that's here. I know a lot of you, and our families here from out of town, and that's just a wonderful thing. And everybody's been so supportive of me, and I really appreciate everything, and also Greg, I appreciate you letting me. She was just the best sister. And what I did is wrestled since when she passed away with what I was going to say and what I was going to do. And then, so I'll just let this. So what I did is I wrote a letter to Janine. I figured that was the best thing. So I got up this morning and I wrote this letter, so I'm just going to read it to you and just kind of let you know. I just said, Dear Janine, well, today is the day that friends and family say goodbye to you and remember the person that you were and what you meant in their lives. Ever since you passed away, that Sunday morning, October the 24th at 9:30 a.m., my heart's been broken. I don't sleep well. I wake up several times at night. I think about you and our 74 years together, as a brother and as a sister. The things we did in those years, I've thought, have also given me an opportunity to today what I'd like to say about you and what you meant to me. I even, a couple of days ago, I typed up 3 pages of stuff, and I said, you know, nobody's going to listen to all of that, so I just wrote this letter. And I just said, it's early morning, as I sit here with a cup of coffee in my favorite Red Fox coffee cup. It's funny how memories are, it's not the whole life, but there are certain moments that just stand out. And I don't really remember you being born, but I think I remember Mom coming in and walking up the sidewalk and having something in her arms at our house on Plowman. I have no memory of high chairs, crawling, walking, although I know that they all happened. Then the memory stops, and we're in a house on Englewood. And I remember that you and I were in the backyard on a swing set that Dad and Mom had bought, and we were swinging back and forth. And Mom and Dad bought a puppy, a little blonde cocker spaniel, and they named it Taffy. And the reason being, I think it was the blonde was the color of Taffy. But the name who got the puppy and who played with it. And there's a picture, and it's not here, but there's a picture somewhere that shows us pulling on Taffy. And she had one back leg, and I had the front leg, and we were stretched out. So it's kind of like Taffy candy. So the next memory that I had was at our house. And you had dolls, a lot of dolls, a lot of dolls. A bed, a stove, all the stuff that girls like playing house. Then there's the memories of us coloring in a color book and sitting down together, and then you cutting out paper dolls and not being really good at it, and me coming in and kind of helping you so that the little tasks would fit on the show. A lot of you all probably don't remember paper dolls, the young people that we had back then. And then there was me playing with the cowboys and my soldier sets on the floor. And then you wanted to join in, but I wasn't on that. You started wanting to tag along with me, and I didn't want that to have a little girl, especially my sister, hanging around. I remember that you were little legs, but you were fast and Dickens as a runner. One of our favorite things was around Christmas time when the big Sears and Roebuck catalog came. Some of you will remember that thing was about that big. And we had this little game that we played. When the catalog came out, we would sit down and we would go through the catalog page by page, and we had this game that was called Dibs. And we'd go to the section of toys, and we'd turn the page, and make a contest of touching the toy that we wanted. And the person who touched that toy first got the toy. Then there was the dinners that you ate no vegetables. And everybody that knows Janine knows that she didn't eat vegetables. But Mom and Dad would make her sit there until she ate something. But Janine refused. She would sit there, and that look that you had, that you think you're going to make me eat, I'm not going to do it. And you never gave in, and you always won. Then there was tap dancing, and I've seen all these pictures here at Miss Dole's on Jefferson. Mom loved it, and made all their recital clothes. Next came the organ. What in the world is organ? Who made that decision? Why did we need an organ? And this is all to my sister. Why not a guitar or something cool? Our next door neighbor, Velva, was an organ teacher, and you went there a couple of times a week, and I would hear you outside playing, and I would say, organ? Why an organ? And it's interesting because I don't believe that I ever heard you play a song at recital or go to a recital. That organ had back to Dallas, and it was still unplayed in their house in Plano until the house was sold a few years ago. It was a thing for young children to bank on. The next gap was when Mom and Dad were transferred to Atlanta, and that was about the end of your grade school years until you went through high school and graduation. I think that they were there, y'all were there about 18 or 19 years, and that's when Mickey and Minnie and Disney World came into your life. You all would go down there and you loved it because you were a kid again, and you could wear ears and get your picture taken with Minnie or Goofy. So when they moved back here, and I think you had an apartment from each other. When you and Craig moved back to Dallas, I learned that you had an artistic side. You sewed, you helped another cousin in a hobby material shop, and then you got this fancy that the sewing machine could do everything. Then I found out that you get calligraphy, and Doc has talked about this thing, land. Our grandmother's peonies that had gone from Dallas to Atlanta, back to Dallas, to Mom's house, and into your house. Then there was a seasonal decorating to the max. Then you became this great cook in your sweet potato casserole with marshmallows on top and fruit pies at Thanksgiving at our house. You knew I loved the casserole, and you knew I loved fruit pies. And your fruit pies were not only good, but they were works of art, with the crust with leaves and berries and colored it, and they were just so beautiful that no one wanted to cut them. And you always made an extra bowl of sweet potatoes for me. Everyone loved them and always expected you to make the sweet potato casserole. And then next was your candy making at Christmas. And there was so many different kinds of candy, but you did this for everyone. Always the one to go above and beyond. Oh, and guess who didn't eat sweet potatoes? Janine. Then your flower arrangements. And you made these beautiful professional flower arrangements for my Annie and Peter and Mom's Craig. And they were something to behold. In fact, I don't know how you put the colors together, but you did. And when you put Annie's out at Spurgeon Hillcrest, they lasted maybe a day, or maybe a week, but then they would be gone because they were the most beautiful flowers in the entire cemetery. The next realized was who's older than who. And that went on until last year. And I always told Janine that I was in the birthday card, and I started it in wood shop all year long for all these funny birthday cards that said, you being the oldest. And I would have maybe 5 more cards, they would be the total one of Christmas when we celebrated your birthday, Dad's birthday, and Aunt Duder's birthday together at Christmas time. The gift wasn't important. It was a card, and it was going back and forth with each other as to who was the youngest and who was the oldest. But I always had one card in that group that said, I love you, and what a great sister you were. And then you started the same thing. And you remember my 50th birthday when you and Craig came to our house in the middle of the night and put up a mountain tombstone that said, "Rest in peace." And black hanging from all the trees. And I called you that morning and told you about it. Then we went to Mom and Dad's for the birthday celebration, and you had a big black cardboard casket in their house. And you had all the cards in there, and you were always thanking me to do something special. Then there was this Bernini that I really didn't understand, the sewing machine that was supposed to be so special. You knew you made this throw for me of my lamb Cody holding a pheasant, and it was all embroidery. The Christmas gifts were something, you always had something to do with ducks for me, because you knew that I liked them. You were a shopper, a pleaser of gifts, and shopped all year long. You made each gift special. Like the unbelievable surprise a couple of years ago of the Apple Watch I have today. I couldn't believe it because they're so expensive and they do everything that the old Dick Tracy watch did. I asked you why in the world that you did that, and you said I had mentioned it, and I couldn't believe it. I said, they must be popular because everyone's wearing them, the runners are wearing them, the nurses are wearing them. And I said, Janine, I was, as you've seen in some of these pictures, Thanksgiving, birthdays, 4th of July. When you came, there was no doubt the sports car. You had identity, you had purpose, you had something that for yourself. The car was a special color. You joined my club and was an officer for years and went on weekend trips all over Texas. Miata car shows, won awards, and you loved driving fast. You even took a couple laps around the speedway. You had a special license plate that said Zoom, which fits you. I never knew that you liked speed. I never knew that you liked fast roller coaster rides. You finally talked me in to take a ride with you in your car with a top down. Holy cow. You drove fast, and that was the first and the last time that I rode with you. I'm so proud of you because you love your car, you love the club, and the friends that you made. You always took care of Dad much better than I did. Just like everything else, you went above and beyond with all the special candies, the clothes, the decorations. And I'm so proud that you were the one that went with Dad to Washington, D.C. on the Earth Night. I know that you made me very happy that you were there. I don't ever remember having a crossword with you. Then on October the 14th, the day that my heart stopped, you and Craig came over to discuss planning Dad's 101st birthday. And then we were going to go to dinner. Dad's birthday, we're about to leave to get something to eat. I've been diagnosed with cancer. I have a port for chemo, but they haven't decided when it will start. You said that you had cancer in your lung, your liver, and your pancreas. My heart stopped. In my mind, I said, no, not Janine, not my sister. I didn't know at the time how serious it was, but having experience with Annie and Dewar, this was, for those of you that don't know, Annie was my wife, and Dewar was our and a couple of other good friends. And I knew that it was going to be tough fight. I told you and Craig that I wanted to be part of your team and be listed with all your doctors, and said that if Greg couldn't be there, I wanted to be with you on all your medical appointments and your chemo appointments, and you were on the 21st. Then visited you every day, and the first time that I saw you, I asked you if you knew who I was, and you said yes. My big brother. So I was out there every day. Then at 6:45 a.m. Sunday morning, October the 24th, I received a text from Craig saying that you'd been in a coma and that you weren't responding. I got to the hospital, and when I got to your room, I told you that I loved you, and I held your hand and asked you to squeeze my hand. Didn't get a squeeze. At 9:30, my heart broke. This was not supposed to happen to you. We never had a chance to fight cancer. I will miss you, your smile, your upbeat attitude, the stories of the trips with your Miata clubs, and your many, many trips to Disneyland, Six Flags, and all the fast rides, and hearing your voice saying, "Hey," to talk to you on the phone. So now, I hope someone that you can hear me when I say you were the youngest, I was the oldest. There's a void in my life that will never be filled. You are my little sister, and I love you so much. Your big brother. Thanks.
All right, do we have any other family members that want to make any comments at all? Okay. All right, we're going to open it up briefly for any friends of Janine that want to have a few words with everybody else, something to share that you might enjoy. Well, I learned a whole lot today. Goodness, she is so much like my wife. It's amazing. Roller coaster ride. My wife loves roller coaster rides. I can't take it. She loves driving fast. She loves her Miata club. I think that in many ways they're just like sisters. All right, any comments?
My name is Lisa. Janine was not only a neighbor of 13 years, but dear friend. She was like a sister, mother. When I lost my mother, she adopted our family, my kids, my